vaccine solution, because if we have a vaccine, a year from now there'll be another mutation. The vaccine doesn't do anything. It doesn't look at the problem.
Very clearly demonstrated in India that of all the cases we have, over 60% of the cases and over 80% of the deaths are only in 5 cities. I don't think so we should eliminate the virus, because what benefits it has within itself, we're yet to realize. 100 million years ago, this whole human placenta came mainly because of a virus infection. But if we come up with a good treatment protocol, that itself is a miracle. If we have a good treatment protocol, if I get the virus, I will not die, I can recover with a few days of treatment. If that much assurance comes, people will go about doing their business. Right now, we are talking about how to completely eliminate the virus, do this, do that. I don't think so we should eliminate the virus, because what benefits it has within itself, we're yet to realize. We're only seeing that it's uprooting some lives. Yes, it is tragic for those who have lost their loved ones and those who have lost their lives. It's not a joke. But we don't know what it is hiding within its process, because as you know, and almost every other medical personnel, and today because of internet almost everybody knows, a large part of us is virus, bacteria, microorganisms, a large part of us. There is more of them than us. Compared to the cells which have multiplied from our parentage, and the number of viruses and bacteria and microorganisms we have is much, much more. So, they are living with us, they are us in many ways. You cannot say there is something that is me and there is something that is microorganism, it's all mixed up. So, without them we cannot exist, but without us they can exist. So, what great things they will do for us, we don't know. There is some research telling us that 100 million years ago, this whole human placenta came mainly because of a virus infection. So, it is a virus which gave us this placenta, which gave us the possibility of reproducing successfully, and the mother's womb, what happens, all those complex creation process that happens in our mother's wombs was instigated by a virus. So we don't know what this virus will bring, maybe we'll grow horns or a tail or wings, I don't know what. Let's see, you must tell me, you're the doctor.
Well, our current science, as you said, first of all, you said something very important. The virus is a very small bit of genetic information. That's what it is. It's a very small bit of genetic information which has now devastated everything from economy to health to politics to international relationships, etc. This little bit of genetic information has devastated the world. And you also said some of this alarm may be exaggerated because of the way, we communicate, and it's so easy now to get the information.
Some of the television channels in India, the virus is coming like this, like a wrecking ball at you.
That's right, that's right. But here's the advantage of this. Just because we can communicate, and we're doing so right now, we actually, through technology, are rewiring the global brain, the planetary brain, through technology. And this communication is very important, and these actions are very important, because without this conversation, we would only be in a panic mode. But with this conversation, we are seeing possible solutions, and you're offering a very practical solution. Here's the important thing to remember when we go for practical solutions is, even as we take the practical solutions, we have to see the direct connection between the genetic information in our body, and again, you used another word, maximum diversity of genetic information. The genetic information in our body, 99% is actually bacterial and microorganisms. 99%, maybe 95%.
You're making me feel like a virus, huh?
Well, we are, Sadhguru, you and I are the awakening of bacterial and virus consciousness. One day, The viruses and bacteria said, let's use this organism, Homo sapiens, as our host, and then we can survive. So we are actually the host for the genetic diversity of the planet. We are the host. If we ruin it, we ruin ourselves, because we depend on this genetic entanglement of genetic information. All life on this planet, not just human life, plant life, animal life, all life. You said in the mother's womb, we were shaped by these microorganisms, but actually as we journeyed out into the world, we absorbed everything. In fact, these days when people do smart obstetricians, when they do cesarean section, they actually take all the secretions of the mother and they put them on the baby's body. They put them in the mouth, in the nose, so that the baby can inhale these microorganisms, can smell it, can swallow it, and be covered by it, because our lungs and our intestine, our entire body depends on it.
So is that being done as a standard practice?
Say that?
Is that being done as a standard medical practice?
Among the smart obstetricians, yes.
Oh.
Right now, they are recognizing that in urban cities, 30% of the microbiome has disappeared. Mm-hmm. So if somebody lives in New York City or Chicago or Delhi, for that matter, 30% of their microbial genetic information has disappeared, and it is disappearing, and this is directly linked to chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, hypertension, strokes, indirectly to cancer, autoimmune illness, and propensity to premature aging, and all kinds of human problems. 90% of chronic illness is dysbiosis, which means dysfunctional biodiversity of genetic information in our body. And the people who are getting sick, by the way, the people who are even now, young people who are getting sick, they have what are called acute inflammatory storms in the body. So inflammation goes out of control in the body because they are panicking. They're panicking, they're stressed, they're agitated, they're worried about money, they're worried about their jobs. The death and morbidity, and we have published on this, I'm happy to send you papers, the mortality and morbidity of this virus is directly linked to stress, panic, sympathetic overdrive, and agitated minds. And that's why we need more than just a simplistic vaccine solution, because if we have a vaccine, a year from now there'll be another mutation. The vaccine doesn't do anything. It doesn't look at the problem.
Very clearly demonstrated in India that of all the cases we have, over 60% of the cases and over 80% of the deaths are only in 5 cities.
There you are.
In the villages where we are here, not a single case in all these villages around us. But only in Chennai, Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Delhi and one more city, what? Lucknow?
Bangalore?
Bangalore not much. Bangalore they've controlled well because of door-to-door management.
I think it's obvious now with this that, ecology is the main issue of our times. The air is our breath. The oceans and waters and the rivers are our circulation. The earth is recycling as our body. Even the atoms in our body were forged in the crucible of stars. So, you have a personal body, you have an extended body, they're both yours. The planet is your body. It's recycling as the ecology and the genetic information and the micro diversity of these organisms. And we're not looking at that. We're looking only at vaccine.
There is something little more basic than this genetic information. Even pre that is the elemental stuff in the world. So the entire yogic system, the basis of yogic system is called Bhuta Shuddhi. That is taking charge of the 5 elements of air, water, earth, fire and space. So these Panchabhutas are 5 elements, taking charge of that is the entire yogic system. It's funny because today I had asked everybody to, our traveling group, which is normally referred to as Ishangas, who go out and teach and spread the thing. They're all here now for last 2 months, so I told them to do sadhana, their morning sadhana, outdoors. They were all doing outdoor in front of the Adiyogi statue. But in the last few days, the monsoon winds have picked up, it's very heavy here. Like it'll touch 50 kilometers per hour, sometimes up to 70 kilometers per hour in gusts. And also mildly raining, anytime it will rain. We're very close to the mountains. So by today morning I went to see how are they doing their sadhana in this wind and rain, but only a small number were there. I asked, what happened? They said too much wind. So I put them up now that from tomorrow, I'm praying to the rain gods that every day morning, 5 to 8 it must rain, and all of you must be doing your sadhana in the rain. It's very important. This is not a boot camp to harass you or something, because if you distance yourself from the elements, you're gone. You may be alive, but you're gone because life doesn't throb in you, no realization will be possible. Because if you want to touch the peaks of your consciousness, everything must be on. Right now, if survival itself becomes a challenge for you, what peaks will you touch? You will not even be interested. When survival is in question, nobody is interested in anything. So it's very important that your survival is not even a concern. If you sit here, everything is going on. If this is happening, then only you will want to explore different dimensions of life. So from tomorrow on, everybody is there in full rain and heavy wind.